On this episode, we relaunched the Rat Rod radio flyer for spring 2018, starting with the front axle. Hey guys, welcome to a real show. I mean, geez, that, all the YouTube partner program thing, that was great and everything. Looks like I'm losing monetization, but we'll prevail. Talked in my last video about kind of what to expect in the near future. So, like I promised, we're going to work on real projects in the garage again. Good, yeah! So, you may remember this thing from the fall videos in the past. So we're going to get back on the Rat Rod radio flyer. Going to try to hopefully trying to fix the steering issues, fix the chain issues, and fix the performance issues. But, so we're starting with retooling that front axle, but let's get to work. Alright, so much like the old axle, I'm going to make this look like an I-beam shape. So I went to the local farm and home store and picked up some 1/8" flat strap. And so what I'm going to do, we're going to drill out holes all the way down the middle of it, because I'm going to want to do like a little plug weld. And my version of a rat rod is, it may be unfinished, there may be exposed weld and stuff, but everything should still look good. So we're going to mark out very repetitive, very segmented holes, and we're going to drill it on the drill press. So let's get going. Okay, so here is the strap all mocked up in place, guys. And, you may have been able to tell from the last footage, but I didn't get these holes drilled as super dead nuts as I wanted to. So I bought some stuff to help me combat that. So we're going to make this one the bottom side. So hopefully we can get the top to look a little nicer. Let me show you what I bought to hopefully counteract that. So these were the tools I was working with before. 12-foot tape. It does go to the 32nd of an inch, so it is a pretty good tape to use for this. However, the talc, or whatever you call this stuff, you can see I just can't get that precise with my lines. And so what I'd do, I'd measure, and I drew center line all the way down there, and I'd come in with cross hatches, cross ticks, whatever you want to say. And then, I realized I didn't have anything really to get my bit started with, hence why you saw the back and forth on the last go around. So deciding I wasn't going to be happy with that, thanks in part to Amazon Prime, we picked up some center punches, metal scribe, and a centering bit. Let's see, there you go. Autofocus. Love this camera. Yeah. Greg Porter said, Tom from Tom's Tool Room swears by these. So we're going to give this a shot. We'll have a center punch. We'll have this guy. And we'll have more precise lines with the scribe. So let's see if we can't make the top side look even better. Okay, so we got the the axle held in place by two magnets on the welding table, and I'm going to attempt, this is only going to be the 4th time ever that I've TIG welded, just to fill a couple of these drill holes, do spot welds. I figure worst case scenario, again, this is the bottom side, nobody's going to see this, so if I screw up, I figure worst case scenario is I botch like 3 holes, but the thought process is it's forced practice. Stakes are low. If I screw up, I can stop, I can abandon ship, and we can always come back and stick weld these in. I've got holes drilled at 1 inch on center, and so just kind of hoping to, like as I go, I can help the metal form around this thing, suck it up tight. But let's fire up the Everlast and let's see what we can do. Real quick, guys, hey, I forgot, these shirts are now for sale. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to snag one of these. My Spreadshirt store is wide open, so you can get your very own straight 6 van, straight 6T. But I figured I'd plug that as I get on my welding shirt. But yeah, if you want one of these, if you order it by Monday, 15% off. So I encourage you to impulse buy. Okay, so I've resorted to my comfort level, and I'm drilling out the holes just a little bit bigger so I can get the rod straight down in there to do these plug welds. But let's get back to work. Alright, so I'm at a real crossroads as, first off, the scribe and the centering bit worked so much better. I made a much cleaner straight line with my drill bits. There's still some variance, but it's a much tighter tolerance than the bottom side. But because I gave up on the TIG welding on the bottom side and went for stick welding, that became a grind fest. And you really kind of lose all sensation of, you know, the repetitious plug welds through there. So I don't know that I want to lose that. I mean, that's part of the design aesthetic, is this nice rhythmic, you know, drilled out lines or holes. So I might just take a pause here Saturday night here and think about it, because I'm thinking about actually drilling smaller holes that go all the way through the middle, and then I can try again to TIG weld, because what I was running into last night was that the metal is just so thick, and I think maybe, you know, part of it is I just need to crank up the amperage on my TIG welder, but it was really having a hard time just penetrating either metal and making that connection. So I think if I make drill a smaller hole, then I could TIG weld. So, you know, what the centering bit kind of did was countersunk the hole a little bit. And so if I do a smaller bit through the middle, then it sort of has tapered that metal down. And I think that way I might be able to get a nice clean, if I do a TIG weld, the TIG weld bead's going to look a lot nicer then. Because I'll tell you, even though I feel good about my stick welding skills, I'm apparently rusty, because it was not my best work on the bottom side. So I guess, since I'm thinking out loud right now, I guess that if I do the smaller drill bit hole concept, I can always go back and drill the bigger hole out if it doesn't work, and I can always cover up the TIG weld with the stick weld. So maybe that's the route I'm gonna go, but I think for now I'm gonna try to mock this up with the clamps to see about, because what I did, and I did this on the backside as well, but I came a ½ inch off for the first hole and then went an inch between each of them. So this gives me a little bit of an option, I think anyway, or a little bit, yeah, it gives me some options for centering it, so it's equal on both sides, but we'll see. And you can also kind of tell I should have more than enough holes here on the far side to play with. So I went 24 inches, as you saw with my level. It's a 2-foot level. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna try to get this mocked up, and then I can kind of cut it to shape, and then come back and drill later. changing plans. Since we're really close to, this looks like this wants to be the center one, I'm gonna move it over one. I'm gonna pinch this down to the center just with my own strength and clamp it. And then see how that works out on this end. Hopefully that gives me some excess. Looks like I'm gonna have extra as well here, but I know if I center this one dot, I think that should want to work itself out. Okay, I think this is gonna work better for me to have this clamped right in the middle. I can now measure side to side, get that centered up, then we can clamp the outsides. And then work our way back that way now. Actually just eyeballing it, so I've got, looks like that will be a 1/2 inch, and then on this side, I've got one right on the end, so I'm gonna try to move this with, it looks like it's gonna wanna be almost like a 3/4 inch overhang on the ends, so let me see if I can't do that. Yeah, okay, so it looks like it wants to just, I mean, you're gonna be right on just cutting off the last one. Okay. Now what I learned from the underside was that so 1/2 inch, the black is right past the 1/2 inch, so I like to just see just a little bit of the black on it, and that's what I'm going to do here on the top. Yeah, there we go. It's looking good. Oh yeah. Yep, looking good. Okay. I will get this clamped down and we will mark like a center line. And then we'll get to drilling out the rest of those holes, I guess. And then we'll come back and we'll TIG weld this hopefully tomorrow. Alright guys, I hope you've enjoyed that I'm actually doing real project stuff now for videos. It's, what can I say, it's been a lot of fun to get back out here and get my hands dirty, do some fabricating. Just real quick though, if you wanted to kind of know where I'm heading with this project or the next one, a good way to keep up in between videos is follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and you can find me on both of those websites or apps at Straight Six Fan, just like the channel name. But until next time, peace out.